the natural essence of agarwood perfected to its finest. Or is it? Hi guys, my name is Steven and welcome back to the channel Fragrance with Steve. I'm going to show you the box, which is a really sturdy cardboard box. It is a fingerprint magnet though, so it will be hard to keep this clean. Really well made. As you can see, it has the Initio Parfums brand name embossed on the top, and on the bottom you have your ingredient list and your batch code. For anyone wondering, this is a 2023 bottle, so it is right from the factory. Now for the inside, we have a soft fabric lining and we have some information regarding the composition. There you go. You also have that QR code on the inside matching the one on the bottom. So for the bottle itself, some people say it's tacky. I do think it is really nice looking. It has a lot of detail. It is a glass bottle which is painted all black, and it has a plastic cap with a very nice embossed kind of texture to it. The cap itself is not magnetic, but it really fits well, protecting the bottle. And on the bottom you have your information once again, just like you have it on the box. Sprayer is really nice, leaves a nice mist, distribution is good. I do think the Dior sprayers are unmatched, but it is really well considering. Wow. Now this fragrance is a one size only 90 ml bottle, as you can see here, which relates to 3.04 fluid ounces. It will retail you for around 300 euros or dollars, depending on where you live. This is quite an expensive one. It's up there with houses like Tom Ford, Sergio, really upper niche level. So for the next part, we're going to look at the house itself. For anyone wondering, Initio Parfums is a sister company to Parfums de Marly. So the creative director and marketing team and all of that will probably be the same as Parfums de Marly. I couldn't find a perfumer, which is kind of strange. I've never had this issue in the past regarding another fragrance. I don't know who made it. It's just a secret. Obviously, the perfumer did an excellent job, in my opinion. This leads us to the next part of the video, where we're going to talk about the notes. I do think the fragrance opens really aromatic and spicy with a distinct saffron note, and I've come to realize I really enjoy spicy saffron heavy fragrances. Immediately you are greeted with a woodiness, but this is the part where we are going to take the name into consideration. Oud for greatness. It is, in my opinion, a great fragrance, but it's not really an oudi fragrance. So they did a really nice job in taking the majestic, royal, dreamy feel of oud to a westernized standard in a wearable, acceptable form. It doesn't really come across too animalic, too barnyardy. They might have used some sort of woody aroma chemical in the composition, but it's certainly not natural agarwood oil. Now, the more I smell it, the more I'm convinced there's quite a bit of patchouli in here, and it's backed by a beautiful white musk, in a very subtle and natural feel, like very high class impression of white musk. The fragrance is really well blended. I believe this fragrance makes you feel very special. Like the name suggests, it has a greatness to it, a certain splendor, a certain majestic feel. It's very refined. It's very masculine. It feels really like you make a big impression, a bold impression when you wear this fragrance. So for me, I would give it a very high score in terms of feeling. It is a fragrance which is up there with remarkable scents that will make an impression. This is truly something I value a lot, because in a lot of designer releases you kind of have the impression that you've smelled the fragrance. Although it's a new release, you kind of feel like you've smelled it before, and you won't experience it with Oud for Greatness. Talking about performance, I mentioned that this is a new bottle which will, wipe away all of your confusions regarding the reformulation talk regarding this fragrance, as I believe it's still really potent and my skin eats fragrance. So rest assured that it is still really good performer. Easily lasting for 8 to 10 hours, if not more. Projection for the first couple of hours is also really great. Nothing to complain about, and actually I'm quite pleased with the performance altogether. So it's a good performer, and you don't have to worry. You don't have to go check out some older bottles of this fragrance. You can just buy it right now out of the shelf, and you probably will not be disappointed. For the target group on Oud for Greatness, I think this fragrance was specifically made for people who know what they want in life, who want to make an impression, who want to feel great wearing it, who want to be remarkable, and who want to make a standing, lasting impression. So mature, masculine. For occasion, I would really consider this to be quite versatile. I would avoid it in the high summer heat, but on a summer evening, I believe this will still work well. And the period of time in where you have colder weather, I believe this is the best occasion to wear it out. More so for a formal occasion rather than a romantic occasion, although it might be an interesting, seductive fragrance as well. I don't know. It leans quite businessy, officey, but it could be a romantic fragrance if it's just for the right person. For the next category, we're going to talk about alternatives, and this is the part where I'm going to wipe some of the comparisons off the table. When you read Fragrantica, base notes, whatever, people will often tell that it smells similar to either one of these two. So Baccarat Rouge 540 and Sauvage Elixir are often mentioned reading the comments of Oud for Greatness, and I can't agree with any one of them. First of all, Baccarat Rouge 540. Now, what people probably think about when they make this assumption is the saffron note, and I do think that saffron is obviously also a center stage molecule in Baccarat Rouge, but this is a very different composition. This goes to the date night romantic setting straight away, whereas Oud for Greatness, like I said, is more of a formal composition. This has a cozy hug type of feel. This makes you feel like you're going on a date, and has that soft cotton candy vibe, what people refer to. You don't really have anything like that in Oud for Greatness. You do have the 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 slight sweetness from the white musk in the base of the composition, but it doesn't really remind me at any point of Oud for Greatness. Maybe the only thing that is kind of similar is that saffron note, but overall I wouldn't really consider these two to be similar at all. So the next one that often gets mentioned is Sauvage Elixir. Now this is the most bizarre comparison I've seen so far, as Sauvage Elixir has a clear licorice note in here, which is something very particular, and it is a very specific fragrance. It doesn't smell like anything else I've smelled before. Actually, maybe the only fragrance I've come across in the past which has a similar licorice note is Eau Noire by Dior or Lolita Lempica, but I don't really consider these two to be brother and sister either. So I don't really consider either one of these to be a replacement for Oud for Greatness. Now there's another one that people really mention a lot, and that is Oud for Glory by the House of Lattafa, but I can't really judge on that fragrance as I have never smelled it before. It's possible that these two are really similar, as I have another fragrance by the House of Lattafa which I will talk about in another video. This one also reminds me a lot about a specific fragrance, and more on that in another video, but it's really possible that they have a really good alternative for the original. So to sum up, this fragrance really is worthy of the hype. In my opinion, if you like spicy, woody fragrances that will make an impression, then you should look into this fragrance. Now, I would never consider buying this fragrance blind, as it is, first of all, it's very expensive, priced around $300 mark. This one is not cheap. So if you haven't smelled this before, get a decant, get a sample, go to a store where they carry this brand and try it out first, because you could be in for a mistake. If you can get a good deal on it, even better. If you really like it, I still believe it's worth it, even though it's at the expensive ball end of the park. It really is, for me, a personal favorite in my collection. It has grown to be one of my most used fragrances over the past few months, even though I have to admit, this is actually my second bottle. So first I got this on a second-hand deal and I wasn't really convinced. I didn't really feel like wearing it again and again, so I got rid of that first bottle. But then a couple of weeks later I was curious again, and I thought like maybe I should give it a second try. So went out to the store again and tried it out, and I ended up buying it, and now I really understand the fragrance. I understand what it's made for, and I kind of enjoy it a lot, you know. Some fragrances are a process, some fragrances you need some time with to appreciate and to start to learn to love them. Kind of strange that I couldn't really find a perfumer. What about you? You know, have you got any idea who it might be? Have you worn this fragrance? If you really like it, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, it's free. And if you have any questions or any remarks, please put them down in the comments and I will get back to you as quickly as possible. So that's it, that's my take on this fragrance. I hope to see you again in the next video. Take care, bye bye.